Welcome! In this video, we'll walk step by step through how to use pivot tables in Google Sheets. You'll learn how to build them, how to analyze your data, and how to avoid common mistakes. Let's get started. Google Sheets has a powerful tool, pivot tables. This is a simple way to analyze large volumes of data without complex formulas. Imagine you have a spreadsheet with hundreds of rows. Sales by region, dates, managers, products, amounts, and so on. How do you know which employee sold the most or which month had the highest sales? Instead of manually filtering and calculating, the pivot table will do it for you. With it, you can group data, calculate totals, get average values, filter, and compare. All this, literally, in just a few clicks. And the best part, when your data changes, the pivot table updates automatically. Let's see how it works with a simple example. I already have a regular table with data prepared. Here, we have sales dates, sales regions, the managers who made the sales, product names, quantities sold, and revenue. Now, let's create our first pivot table. To begin, highlight the data table. Then go to the top menu and choose Insert, then Pivot Table. Google Sheets will suggest placing the pivot table on a new sheet. This is convenient, so we'll leave it as is, meaning the original data stays on one sheet, and the pivot table will be on another, and click Create. Now the pivot table interface opens in front of us. We need to customize it for our needs. On the right, you'll see four main sections. Rows, categories added here will appear vertically. For example, a list of salespeople. Columns, values added here will appear horizontally. For example, by date or region. Values, this is what will be aggregated. Sales totals, quantity sold, average values, and so on. Filters lets you narrow down the data. For example, view results for a specific region. As soon as you add at least one row and one value, the pivot table will start building automatically. Let's try building a simple report. Now let's see how to use the pivot table to calculate totals, sum, average, or count. Let's say we want to know the total revenue for each product. In our source table, each row represents a sale made by a specific manager for a specific product. But we want to know the total revenue for each product without breaking it down by salesperson. So, let's add product names to rows. This can be done by dragging and dropping. You'll now see the products listed on the left. All that's left is to add the revenue. On the right panel of the pivot table, go to the Values section. Click Add, or just drag and drop, and choose the column we want to calculate, in our case, revenue. By default, Google Sheets uses the sum function, meaning it simply adds up all values. And now we see how much of each product has been sold. If we want to add more detail per product with the manager's name, we can simply add Salesperson to the rows. Now our pivot table includes this detail. You can expand or collapse the list. If we want the reverse, to first see total sales per manager and then break down by product, just drag Salesperson above product in the rows. As you can see, we can control subtotals. If you don't need them, simply uncheck the box. And if you want the higher level category, like Salesperson, to repeat next to each line item, enable the Repeat Row Labels checkbox. This way you'll see Bob next to both body lotion and face cream. Let's remove product for now. If you click Summarize By, you can choose another function. Average, the average value, how much the manager sold on average. Count, how many rows, for example, how many orders each salesperson had. Max or min, the highest or lowest value, the largest or smallest revenue per manager. Let's remove Salesperson. Suppose we want to see the average revenue per product. Add product to rows. In Values, choose Revenue, and then select Average. Or let's say we want to know how many total units each salesperson sold. Remove product for now. Add salesperson to rows. In values, remove revenue and add units sold. Keep sum as the function. All this without a single formula. Just add the needed fields and the pivot table calculates everything. Pivot tables are useful not only for calculations, but also for grouping data. Let's clear the table for our next example. Suppose we want to know how much was sold in each region. For that, add the region column to rows. Add revenue to values. Now we get the total revenue per region. Let's add another level of grouping, by date. Add date to columns. Now our rows are regions, and our columns are dates. We can see how much was sold in each region on each day. If you want to view data for a specific salesperson or product, you can use a filter. In the Filters section, click Add and choose, for example, Salesperson. In the drop-down, leave only the name you want, for example, Alice. Now we're seeing sales by date and region, only for Alice. In this way, you can switch filters dynamically and analyze the data from different angles. This is especially useful when you have a large number of rows. You can focus only on the relevant segments. Pivot tables are a great way to analyze data, but charts are the way to instantly make sense of it visually. Let's create a chart directly from our pivot table. To do this, click on any cell inside the pivot table. Go to the Insert menu and select Chart. Google Sheets will automatically create a chart based on your pivot table data. By default, it might be a column chart, but you can change the type to line chart, bar chart, horizontal, or pie chart, circular. To change the type, on the right side of the screen, open the Chart Editor panel. In the Setup section, select a different chart type. In the Customize section, you can adjust the colors, labels, legend, font, size, title, everything needed for a presentation. The chart will automatically update if your pivot table changes, and your pivot table updates when the original data changes. This is especially useful if you're building a report that's updated regularly. Let's create a chart that shows total revenue by salesperson. To clearly see who sold the most, we return to the pivot table view where the salesperson and total revenue are displayed. Then, we add and customize the chart to show each manager's sales values. In the chart editor, go to Customize, then Series, and check the Data Labels box. You can also set the color, font, and data position on the chart. Done! This is how you can make your data more visual and easier to understand. Although pivot tables are very convenient, users sometimes run into common problems. Let's go over the most frequent ones and how to fix them. Error 1. Blank cells in the pivot table. Sometimes you see blank cells even though the data is there. To prevent this, check that the data range is selected correctly when creating the pivot table. In the Pivot Table Editor, you can reselect the data range. Make sure there are no typos or extra spaces in the column headers. Error 2. Duplicate rows. For example, you see the same salesperson twice. Check for extra spaces in names. Let's simulate this. In one row, the name Alice might accidentally have an extra space at the end, which you won't notice, and that will create two separate entries. Use the trim function or clean the data before building the pivot table. Then paste the cleaned values into a new column. This helps remove extra spaces in bulk, if they exist. Error 3. The table doesn't update when data changes. The pivot table doesn't automatically include new rows added below the original range. It only updates when values inside the existing range change. To fix this, try updating the range. Maybe you added new rows and forgot to extend the range, and the pivot table is still using the old one. Error 4. incorrect totals or averages. Sometimes the numbers aren't what you expected. Check that you selected the correct function in the Values section: sum, average, count, etc. If you keep your data clean and choose the right fields, pivot tables will work perfectly and save you a lot of time. To finish, here are a few helpful tips to make working with pivot tables even faster and more efficient. Format your values directly in the pivot table. You can choose formats like currency, percentages, or thousand separators. This helps make your report clearer and more presentable. Just highlight the column, then go to Format, select Number, and choose the style you need. Add slicers. These are visual filters that let you interactively switch data views. In the menu Data, select Add a Slicer. Choose a column, for example, Region or Salesperson. Now you can filter by that column using a simple drop-down menu. Automation using Google Apps Script. If you often update data, create reports, or send results, you can automate these tasks using scripts. For example, with a single button, you could update the range, clean the data, rebuild the pivot table. Pivot tables in Google Sheets are a powerful analysis tool, and with just a few extra features, you can make them even more efficient. Thanks for watching. Now you know how to build and use pivot tables in Google Sheets. Feel free to like, comment, or subscribe if this was helpful, and see you in the next tutorial.